Hello everybody and welcome to Shou plays Seduce Me the Otome. I did not find a back button, but I saved and then I went back so that I didn't, miss anything in this episode. So there's that. Let's, continue. Thanks!
You're welcome. It's good to see you smiling, even though the thing I made still kinda creeps me out.
What was that thing in the corner just now?
Anyway, you should come with me to the dining room. We're almost finished with the food, and, well, I don't mean to brag, but we're pretty decent chefs.
I don't think you know what food is. I'm concerned. Sounds great. Lead the way. Something smells good. Ooh, is it pizza? Did they order out? My stomach rumbled in agreement. I was starving.
Oh, the girl's awake.
Nice to see you too. I'm gonna punch you some more. Excuse you, I have a name, you know.
Should we really care?
Yeah, you're in my house.
Sam, I will roast that tongue for dinner if it doesn't stop flapping in that idiotic mouth of yours.
That doesn't sound too appetizing, but thanks for the offer.
Shh, whatever.
I apologize for his attitude.
Why, thank you. Harry Potter? Oh, that's fine.
Good. I hope you'll enjoy the meal we prepared for you.
I hope so too, but I'm kinda scared. Meal? For a second, my mind didn't understand what James meant. Maybe it was the doll getting to my head and distracting me. Ah, that's right. Damien and Matthew mentioned that they were making dinner as an apology. Oh. Wait, you didn't have to.
We insist. Besides, it's quite impossible to undo our cooking, even if you command us to.
Why would I do that? That's a weird thing for you to say. Well, alright then, thanks. Matthew put down the last of the plates on the table and bowed a bit exaggeratedly to me, gesturing to the table with a sweeping motion.
Ah, there we go. Dinner's all served.
Yes, dinner! The table was filled with various foods from an eclectic selection of cuisines. One portion of the table was filled with elegantly plated Asian foods, and another portion some yummy-looking desserts. And there were yet more and more plates than I could have possibly imagined. I'm gonna have to do the dishes, aren't I? No, wait, you broke in. You can do the dishes. Whoa, that's a lot of food. And it all looks so good.
We hope you enjoy it, my sweet.
Please don't ever talk to me. What? Sweet? Me?
That's enough, Eric.
You're no fun, James.
I don't need to be fun, Eric. Miss, please follow me.
Okay, cool. Thanks. I didn't know what came over me, whether it was his politeness or maybe his power, but I couldn't help but take his offered arm. James seemed very kind and intelligent, but aside from that, there was something that set him apart from his brothers. Not to mention, he didn't really seem to hold much appreciation for them.
Miss, I have to ask, why do you live alone?
Various reasons. Drop the subject, okay? Oh, well, it's kind of a long story.
I'm all ears if you wish to tell.
Can I just eat dinner? They've assumed you lived alone. You confirmed it, and now you can't lie to them. So yeah, go ahead. Tell them. To put it briefly, I just moved here today.
That explains the luggage you brought in when you came through the front doors. By the way, we put your belongings in the room you were sleeping in. That seems to be the master bedroom, I believe.
Gee, thanks? Thanks. This house is really big. I don't think I even explored the entirety of the estate when I was a child.
You lived here before?
Maybe. What's it to you? Stop asking questions. No. Truth be told, this is my grandfather's house. I used to visit him all the time when I was younger.
May I ask why you now live in your grandfather's house?
He's dead. He actually passed away yesterday. It was bequeathed to me in his will, and I was sent to live here, whether I liked it or not.
My condolences. It seems like you don't like the idea of living here.
It's not that I don't like this house, or that I don't have fond memories of being here. It's just the implications that come with staying at this estate. It's kinda complicated to explain. You know, inheriting your beloved dead grandfather's house, and then moving in the next day after he died.
How do you feel about it?
I certainly wasn't expecting that question, but in a good way. It was different from what I had heard the entire day at school. I appreciated the fact that he was willing to listen. I feel angry, sad, scared, and confused. It's hard picking out the different emotions that I'm feeling right now. I wish I was stronger. Don't show weakness in front of him!
You don't have to be strong.
Yeah, you do. Your grandfather said so. What do you mean?
I understand that you're going through a difficult time, so it's okay to feel those emotions. You don't have to be strong at all.
You can be strong after you're done with your emotions, though. Don't listen to him. Thanks.
Are you all right? There seems to be a small bruise on your cheek.
How the hell did you notice that? He caught me off guard with that comment. I thought no one would have noticed something as small as that. Oh, I'm fine. Just, parental abuse, no big deal, or whatever. He stopped and leaned in close, a bit too close for comfort, or maybe it was just me, inspecting my face. He was really quite tall, having to bend over so much just to look at me straight in the face. I don't know how tall you are, protagonist, but I'm quite short. Everyone is that tall to me. So, you're just gonna have to get used to it, or kick him out. It was hard to look at him, especially when he was so close. After a few seconds, he straightened up and began walking again.
Well, if you're having any problems, I'm always here to listen.
No thanks. I already told you enough. That's really kind of you to offer that.
My pleasure. Here's your seat.
Cool, thanks.
Let me get your chair for you, lovely lady.
Don't you dare get away from me. Oh, Eric was very charming, and a smile pulled at my heart. The way he kept flirting with me definitely designated him as the charmer of the demons, yet there was a little distance in his eyes.
By the way, I apologize for my behavior earlier. Stealing your second kiss like that.
Oh yeah, that's who you are. I forgot. Huh? Oh yeah, and I didn't believe that they were incubi. Thank you for using the proper pluralization. It's fine, I guess. I mean, you didn't just get up and grab a kiss for no reason.
I'm not as forward, unlike Sam.
Good? Good. Yes, good. Suddenly, Eric leaned in and whispered in my ear.
I won't lie, though. I enjoyed kissing you and feeling you melt in my arms.
It feels so creepy having that in my ears. I was torn between smacking him and trying to play it cool.
Ah! That's going to sting.
I didn't even hesitate with that decision. I don't know what's wrong with me. It just seemed like the right answer. Sorry, I panicked.
No, I was expecting that.
Good. I drew my attention back to the dishes. I was both intrigued and slightly scared by the amount of food they made. How much do they eat, anyway? Seeing my expression, Eric leaned forward and proudly smiled, gesturing to all of the dishes with a dramatic sweep of his arm.
I made almost all of the dishes myself.
So you made one of them? Humorously enough, Matthew looked at him with a shocked expression, as if he was betrayed. His face changed instantly to that of a frown.
And I'm the Queen of the Nile.
So I was right. He probably made one dish.
What's that supposed to mean?
Me, you, and James did the work together, dummy.
It's you, James, and I, Matthew.
Why, thank you for the grammar lesson.
Little boys will always make mistakes.
This is a stressful dinner. Matthew looked at James in disbelief, probably for siding with Eric, and he annoyedly swiveled back to Eric to confront him. James didn't side with Eric, he just corrected your grammar. No big deal.
I'm not a little boy. I'm barely a year younger than you.
How old are you, anyway?
Well, you certainly don't act like it.
How old are you? How old are any of you? I really couldn't help but laugh. Matthew seemed very much like a kid. He was adorable. However, I couldn't help but feel like in a way he was much more mature than the others, especially Eric.
Huh? Is something funny?
No, it's nothing. Thank you for the meal, all of you.
Oh, you're welcome, miss.
The name's Tamantha?
Such a well-mannered young lady. Beautiful inside and out.
Okay, you can stop it with the flirting.
Eric, knock it off.
Thank you. In agreement with Matthew, Sam cocked up his head and glared at Eric.
Seriously, you're getting really annoying with that suck-up act.
It was obvious that Sam was the bad boy of the group. He had this big, tough act, and it was obvious he was physically stronger than the rest of the guys. But was there more to him than that? I feel like I just invited a boy band to my house.
I'm just trying to be a gentleman. The young girl has already gone through so much. She deserves a good treatment.
But less talking and more dinner? Please? Guys, have a seat. Seriously, you worked this hard. I'm not gonna kick you out while there's still dinner in progress.
There's a difference between being a gentleman and being an obnoxious flirt.
Less fighting, more eating. Guys, come on. I barely know you.
Schooled even by James. You're gonna need some cold water for that burn.
And everybody laughs.
By the way, I don't believe we caught your name even though you know each of us.
It's Tamantha. Ah, I'm Tamantha.
It's a pleasure to finally know your name.
Yeah, that's a nice name.
Cool, thanks. I named her. That was me. All me. Yep, I'm awesome. They were all comfortable around me, despite the awkward situation we were in. It was as if it were natural for them to be around humans. I guess that was just how incubi worked. But I was still curious about one thing. Excuse me. All at once they looked at me. I didn't know why, but having all of them look at me made me feel kind of important. Like a queen or something.
What is it, miss?
It's Tamantha. I wanted to thank you for the food, but I still want to know why you came all the way here. I feel like I don't quite understand. Understand? Yeah, like being told that a bunch of incubi randomly appearing in your house was perfectly understandable.
Oh, how do we explain?
With words?
We were attacked. We came here to heal. What's so difficult to understand?
Hey, I'm the queen of the house. Knock the attitude down just a notch.
Now you're just being rude, Sam.
I'm just saying, how is that difficult to understand?
Yeah, but why were you attacked? And by what? And why is this the closest location? No, I mean, what specifically happened?
Well, you see, we've been traveling around for quite some time now. Just recently we came into town, but we were jumped by this band of misfits.
What kind of misfits?
So, in order to escape and heal, we came here for shelter. Again, we apologize for the mess we made.
I heard you cleaned up the blood, so thanks for that. It's fine, I guess. So you're all better now, right?
Yup, all thanks to you.
I'm not sure what that implies, but now I'm scared. Huh? Me?
You see, beautiful, we feed on sexual energy. But we don't just get it from kissing lovely ladies such as yourself. We can simply touch someone's hand to obtain sexual energy. Everyone carries sexual energy, you know.
So there really was no need to kiss her, right? I was still in shock about their powers. It wasn't just kisses that gave them power. It was something physical. No wonder I was out for a while. These incubi intrigued me, but at the same time I could almost hear a warning siren going off in my head. Yeah, that's the human danger signal. That means you're in danger. And I'm not sure if the food is safe.
Is there anything else you wish to know?
Well, what do you all plan to do now?
Yeah, what are we gonna do now, James?
That is a very good question. We just got here and surely we'll be hunted again if we leave.
We can take him easily.
You were just beat up pretty badly, like with blood and stuff, so I'm not sure you can.
Not without more training, Sam. The result of that was clearly evident in our last encounter with them.
How many encounters with them have you had? What are they? At that moment, I didn't know what came over me, but I suddenly felt sorry for them. Is it demon powers, or just you actually feel sorry for them? I can't tell. They couldn't possibly survive out there. They didn't know it was illegal to break into people's homes. They probably didn't know a bunch of other stuff. They probably would cause chaos all over town. Or on the flip side, they could be taken in for questioning and be poked and prodded like lab frogs for research. That was even worse. I liked that idea. But most of all, they reminded me of back then. I was standing alone. The entire classroom was filled with laughter and chatter, but I stood in the midst of it, quiet and alone. It was strange seeing the whole world pass in front of me with such vibrancy. All while I stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge or kicking someone too hard. It was kind of nice just standing back and watching things pass by and life go on. I had long before convinced myself that I preferred being alone. I often said to myself in encouragement, yeah, I want to be alone. There's no one I like better than me, so I ought to spend more time with myself. But what about Suzu and Peebles? They're your friends. But there was a certain bitterness that, coupled with being alone, made me feel so sad. There was a difference between being alone and lonely. I just didn't realize it at that moment. And even after that moment, my father, my mother, there was no one to turn to. I was so lonely. That's when I decided on it right then. I was going to see my grandfather. I didn't care if my father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk my way over there and see what he had to say about it. I had never seen him before that. That's how to sentence. What better time to see him then? If no one else was going to help me with what I was feeling, I might as well have turned to him. So, after school, I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there, and I was armed with only a scrap of paper with the address scribbled on it. As a 7-year-old, I obviously had great ideas. I soon became lost, and, like I always did when I felt lost, I just stood there on the sidewalk, back pressed up against the wall and eyes looking at the strangers passing by. And no one noticed a lost little girl and decided to help? And, like always, people continued to pass by and life continued to go on. I was sadder than ever. I had ended up in the situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. I thought that I was silly for even thinking that I could change things with my own hands. That was until a voice brought me back to reality.
Hun, is that you?
I don't know. I looked up and saw an unfamiliar face, but it was obvious that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. And from that moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints, and I realized that things were moving along. Suddenly, I had become part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past me. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person who found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them, though, would I? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if that was the best idea. After all, 5 demons in my house wasn't exactly the living arrangement that I had imagined when I first moved in. Did you imagine any living arrangement? Like, at all? Did you know what you were going to do? There was the matter of making sure no one found out about their powers. Thinking about them as lab rats made my stomach queasy. And even if they passed for humans, how would I explain having guys living in my house? Imagine if my friends came over. They would practically think I was part of a harem or something. Oh God, imagine if my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? I think he would have them arrested on the spot. This is hard. Maybe I should have written out a pros and cons list before actually having to make the decision. Even though you're making the decision on the spot right now. Because this situation just happened.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
You have literally 0 time to decide. It was strange that I happened to remember what my grandfather said to me when I was little. But it did kind of make sense. They weren't in the same exact situation that I was in before, but I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience and also make me a bit happy to give them help, as weird as that sounded. Clenching my hands into fists, I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could...
What was that, lovely lady?
That is,
Spit it out already.
you could stay here with me if you'd like. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads from my words. The silence in the air cut like a knife until I spoke up once more. It seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and, well, I just moved into this giant house, so it seems like it made sense. It was still quiet in the room. I decided to keep talking. If you would like to stay here, though, there are 2 things that I need all of you to follow.
Yes?
First of all, you can't use your powers or deliberately do something that might harm me or any guest that comes over. Well, save for enemies, but you get the drift.
That sounds reasonable.
It does sound pretty reasonable. Second, you have to help me with any errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so... yeah.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
Yes, I have live-in maids. I mean, butlers. No, is that a gender thing or a job thing? Live-in maids. It's alright, really. I mean, I just started living here myself, so I would appreciate some help around the house.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you with the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
That sounds pretty sarcastic, but yeah, that's basically it.
What? Are you serious?
I think she's serious.
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in a bed for days.
Priority straight, man. They all seemed to like the idea, except for Sam, and hey, I didn't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. It would be interesting having 5 guys help me with taking care of the house, given they would follow the rules that I had just laid down.
Grr, fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
Fine by me.
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yeah, I like that time limit.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
Nope, I'm fine, thanks.
Eric, knock it off.
I was happy that they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help and my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure. But maybe you'll be sure in the next episode, so I'll see you guys then.